Hello and welcome. Greetings and salutations, as they say. Alright, last minute kerfuffle, getting ready. Hopefully you can hear me. Okay, I don't think there's anybody here yet, but it's a last minute streamy thingy. I mean, not last minute, it's the same time it was last week, but I didn't schedule it ahead of time. So, if you're here, go ahead and hit that like button, help get it out to other people. Otherwise, we will be starting in a few minutes. I hope everyone is having a good week. What are you doing? What is, how's life treating you? Yes, the title page is up and we will start playing soon. I'm doing okay. A little ragged, but I'm currently pet sitting a couple cutie patooties. A big Labrador golden lab named Bodie, and a little terrier mix called Ellie, who unfortunately hurt her foot, so she's hobbling around like a three-legged dog. Um, and yeah, I've been playing D&D and just chilling. I was supposed to come home and record some vintage story on Monday, but I decided not to because I woke up with a headache. So we might be behind on episodes, but I've already got one for tomorrow. No, for Friday. I forgot what day of the week it is. Got one for Friday. So as long as I get something up before next Tuesday, we'll be fine and dandy. Alright, don't be afraid to hit the like button to get the stream out to more people, and say hello in the chat if you want to and you would like to. It would be very friendly. Yeah. Surprisingly, last week's video stream, the VOD of the stream, has quite a few viewers, quite a few views. So I am happy about that. Hopefully people will tune in today and we'll get a nice crowd. Otherwise, I'm just going to be here sitting in my room talking to myself. I don't know if you can hear in the background, I do have a fan going because my building has heat and I have no control over it. So right now it looks like I am watching and one other person has joined me. Welcome, one other person. About a minute before the game actually starts. And I was a bad player and I didn't recap my notes. I mean, I read through them, but I didn't like write them out. So we're just going to go over the bullet points from last week. Once the game actually starts. I guess I could start chat. Let's start chat, shall we? What shall we say in chat? Hello. Welcome. And hello. There we go. Chat has officially started. And so has the game. Let's go ahead and switch and bring you onto the tabletop. Hello, welcome. You can see all my books, my pens, my pencils, my cards, my mouse, my glass of water. I'm hydrating my lips with some glossy balm stuff. Okay, welcome. This is Be Like a Crow, solo RPG by Tim Roberts at criticalkit.co.uk. Stream Elements is joining us because who doesn't love a bot? All right. And I've titled this campaign, this storyline, A Corvid Conundrum. We are Giselle, a fledgling raven, right now, and we are currently on a quest to save a dwarf merchant from an evil necromancer named Tim. And to defeat him, we must acquire a mead of poetry, which I have been thinking is probably like a potion, so it's going to be in a bottle so we can carry it. And then we have to perform a ritual. That's it right now. I did draw out my map so you guys can see it a little bit more. So this is the city of Asmodor with a river running through it. We've got walls around the outside, and then I've marked some locations and the roads. So in the last episode, we woke up on a sunny morning in the base of a statue outside of Asmodor. After settling there overnight to get away from a heavy rainstorm, the morning brings sunshine and clear skies. We take off for the city because we're just outside the city gates. To the south, we run into a jackdaw named Jack who traded us our ring of something. We had an enchanted magic ring, and in exchange for that, he gave us a rogue's toolkit, which we've already put to good use. As we approached the city, flying over the wall, we ran into trouble. Some of the guards on the wall the archers were doing target practice, and they decided to shoot at us as a target. We took 4 damage. Yikes. So in that, we quickly, once we got over the wall, found a place within the wall to land and rest and heal up a little bit. While we were down there on the ground, we found a bent coin of some sort, and we used our talons and our beak to straighten it out, thinking this might be valuable to the people of this world. And we took that with us, leaving behind our feather token of flying. I don't remember what it's called, but it's a leaf token, I guess it was. So we left that hidden just inside the walls. Then we tried to find our way around the city. We're looking for a place called a tavern called the Shaw and Sheep, is where we can acquire this mead of poetry. We didn't have much luck. We did stumble upon a nearby produce market called the Twisted Salad. And while we were there, we, sent out a signal, called for help, see if there were any birds in the area that could help us, that know the location of this tavern. Our friend Jack the Jackdaw happened to be in the area and said, "Nah, I don't know what you're talking about, bud. Never heard of the Shawn Sheep." So we had to go and do the thing that birds not regret, but seldom do. We approached a town guard who happened to be a druid. We could tell because we have a druid companion back home that we started our journey with. And this town guard's name was Douglas. He had to speak with animals, and we asked him if he could help us find this tavern. "Hello, molded salad. Welcome." So yes, Douglas takes us to this tavern. We perched on his shoulder. He acted as our translator later when we got to the tavern. The barkeep there, named Sean, because it is the Shawn Sheep, it's his tavern. We gave him the coin in exchange for the mead, but he didn't trust us, so he wouldn't give us the mead. And he ended up giving the gold coin back to Douglas. We asked Douglas if he would help us, and he didn't quite believe us either. He asked for proof of what we told him. It's a far-fetched story that some necromancer in the School of Wizardry has kidnapped a dwarf merchant and is going to sacrifice him on the full moon. So in this town of Asmodor, all the dwarf merchants have signet rings identifying them. They use the seals to, mark their shipments and their paperwork. So Douglas asked us to bring back the signet ring of this dwarf as a form of identification, and then he'll look into it and help us. So from the tavern, we headed west. Why west? I don't know. I guess we just randomly picked a direction because we didn't know where the school was, and Douglas didn't seem to know where it was either. We stumbled stumbled across a blacksmith. I don't know if we gave the blacksmith a name. I don't think we did. I don't see one in my notes anyway. But the blacksmith had a familiar, a pet raven named Bloom, who was quite smitten with us. They're a fledgling also, but they're like, "Ooh, you're an adventurer. I wanna come along with you." And they steal across the street to get some baked goods from the bakery across the street, the Blackened Bun. The Singing Hammer, thank you. Where's the blacksmith? The Singing Hammer. All right. And so we heal up a little bit with the baked goods that Bloom brings us. And as I pause, reminder, please don't forget to hit the like button, help get the stream out to other people. And if you're watching this later in the VOD, leave any comments, suggestions for place names, people, NPC names, and stuff like that. And just leave me any comments saying what you think of the playthrough so far. All right, so we healed up a little bit. And then we decided to take off. Bloom wants to accompany us in the city. She got the permission of the blacksmith. And so now we have Bloom in tow. And we start flying northward over a city park. We got lost, but we ran into a flock of 16 swallows. And they said, "Oh yeah, we know the way to the school. Come follow us." So they started leading the way, and as we crossed the river, we ran into an eagle named California, and the eagle joined us to lead the way. So now it's myself, Giselle, Bloom, our raven friend, 16 swallows, and an eagle are headed to the school. So on my map here, the bakery and the blacksmith are over in this area. Let me point with my pen, that's probably easier. And we flew over here, flew across the river, and this is the school up here, the Shadowfell Academy, the School of Wizardry in Asmodor. So we circle the school trying to figure out where is this necromancer. And we discern that he's in the north tower of the school. And we land on the roof and we look around trying to figure out how do we get into his hideout, his lair, to get this ring to take back to Douglas to prove that there is shenanigans going on, nefarious things. So we try opening a window and that didn't work. We're birds. We don't have thumbs. We don't have, fingers and such. So we couldn't get the ring open, but I did find a nearby chimney that I was able to fly down. And before doing that, I did try calling out for any help inside the building, like for rats or mice or cats or any other, mainly like rodents, if there were anybody inside the school to help us. But we found out that this building is soundproof and the glass is shatterproof. because the eagle did try breaking into the window. It's a school of wizardry, so the building is magically protected against, explosions and sound effects that could disturb the neighbors and such. So breaking in is not very easy, but I was able to find a nearby chimney. Luckily, it's the middle of the afternoon. Nobody has a fire going, so I was able to fly down through the chimney and make my way down the hall to the Necromancer's secret hideout. When we were looking in the window, he wasn't there, but by the time we figured out how to get in, he had come back, and he was not alone. He had two zombie sentinels. Sentries, that's the word I was looking for. Sentries inside the room with him waiting for us. And so I finally engaged in my first combat, and I did find a little bit of things to help, but right now we're at 4 damage out of 6. But we were able to defeat these zombies, and Tim, the Necromancer, fled. He's like, oh no, I killed our bird, ah! And ran away. And then we were able to get the ring off the dwarf. And we flew back out to the chimney, and that is where our story left off. Questions, comments, concerns? While I hydrate. Alright, so we pick up. We've made it outside with the ring. It's getting into evening time now. We need to make our way back with the ring to Douglas. And heal up a little bit. 4 out of 6 wounds is not great. And then, yeah, ow, phooey. Don't hit your desk with your pinky finger. Okay, I'm all right. I just, it didn't even break my nail, but I did hit my fingertip and my nail on the desk because I'm clumsy. All right, so we do have ourselves and Bloom and 16 swallows and an eagle named California in tow. Now, I don't have names for all of the swallows, but I came up with the swallows. There's Bill, there's Bob, there's Barb, they all start with B. So, we don't have to name all 16 swallows, but they all start with B. Bob, Bill, Barb, Betty, really short names, Bert. Yeah. And there's so many of them, it's hard to keep track of who's who, so we just, call them the bees. So the bees, 16 bee swallows. So now we are here. I think we should leave. Oh, I almost forgot. I keep meaning to do this, so I'm going to do it right now. Here we go. So we have been. I didn't even get my dice out. You know what? I don't have any dice here. Hold on. Oh my gosh. Do I have any die here? I took them all to play D&D and forgot about the fact that I need them for being here. Okay, so I do have 2 dice here. They're my metal dice, and I don't take them with all my others. So we have 2 dice at our disposal. Maybe I might have some more stashed around here, but we don't. All right. Anyway, as I was saying, we've been using a yes/no oracle of a D6, and I've been saying even is yes and odds are no, but there is another way to do it, and I keep meaning to, but I'm not familiar with it, so I had to, go look it up. So this is not new, not original. I copied this idea from someone else. So our oracle is now going to be yes and is 1. A 2 is just a straight yes. A 3 is a yes, but. So yes and is a positive. So yes and something else nice and positive. Yes is just straight yes. Yes, but is a yes, but it has something negative with it. A 4 is a no, but. And that's a negative, but something positive with it. I know it's confusing. This is positive. This is negative. This is positive. And then 5, I ran out of room because I wrote too big, is just a straight no. And 6, we'll squeeze over here on the side, is a no and that's negative. All right, so that is our yes-no oracle. We'll set that right here. And we have 1d6 and we have a d20. Those are the dice at our disposal at the moment. I wish I had more, but I took them all away. I might have to just leave one set of dice here specifically for this game, but I didn't think of that. Plus, we have our deck of cards, which is how we do most of the decisions and occurrences in this game. So, occurrences, skill tests. That's what I'm looking for. All right. So, what I'm thinking is we are going to have the swallows spread out around the school building. And then California will kind of like keep an eye right outside, like on the roof of the Necromancer's lair. And Bloom and I are going to head back looking, well, you know, we might take a couple of the swallows with us, because 16 swallows is a lot. So we might take a couple of the swallows with us. Let's see, should we take a couple of the swallows with us? Yes. Okay, that's how it works. All right, so we'll take maybe 4 swallows with us. And we're gonna, because they know the city really well, and we're strangers here. And Bloom, although they live in the city, they've mainly stayed at the blacksmiths. They don't get around much. So 4 swallows are gonna come with us to lead the way. And we're gonna go back down where we met Douglas, which was down in this area at the south. I'm guessing he was probably patrolling the wall here, or maybe by the main gate. He was off duty when he helped us, and he had to get back to work. So that's why he's not with us. So we met him by the market, and the tavern is over here right next to it, down the street. So let's see if we can get that way. So we're going to go ahead and do a navigation. Yes. With the swallow's help, to see if we can find our way back to the tavern and see if we can find Douglas. So our difficulty rating, our challenge is going to be an 8. We have a +2 in navigation. So we're going to get a 5, 6, 7. Okay. But I said the swallows were helping, so we're going to do it with authority. Oh, that doesn't help. Okay. So we kind of get in the general area. So we fly south from the school and kind of, you know, end up in the general area, but we didn't find Douglas exactly. But we're in the area. So let's see if we can search and find should we search or make a signal? Let's try a search, see if we can, you know, fly around the area and see if we can find Douglas. So we're going to do a search. We have a +1 to search. So our goal is 1. Okay, well, that's an automatic success because 6 + 1 is 7. So we find Douglas. And we give him the ring. And Douglas is like, oh, wait, I know who this is. This is Ashtar Stonekeep's ring. How? And you found this in the Fato Shell Academy? You were like, yeah, that's where he is. He's like, okay, well, you need to stay here, and I'm going to go investigate it. I'm going to go to Ashtar's home. He runs a business. What kind of business does Ashtar Stonekeep run? Let me think. Unless anybody wants to give one suggestion. Maybe Ashtar Stonekeep. His name says Stonekeep, so maybe he's a mason. And he probably has a business. We'll say maybe here. Maybe this is like his because he's on the river and he's near the river, and so he's gonna be shipping stone blockwork out of the city. I forgot to make the road into the city on my map. And then there's another one up this way. Okay. So Ashtar is a stonemason. And Douglas is going to go investigate. So, at the start of the last session, we had 12 days until the next full moon when the sacrifice was supposed to happen. Why so far away? I don't know. That's just what it came up to be. So we've spent a day and it's getting into evening, so we're gonna go find a place to rest. And I want to go back to where I left my leaf token. That was a nice little place to shelter. So we're gonna do that. Let's do our search check to see if we can find it. That is a joker, so we automatically succeed, but I'm gonna hold on to that joker for a minute. So our difficulty to find our leaf token that we left where we landed inside the wall is a 3. And I said we're searching. We have a +1 to search. So yeah, we successfully find that. And then we get back our leaf token. The leaf of Giselle, which lets us fly 2 squares. Or 2 hexes, really. On a successful fly check when we're traveling out and about in the world. Although, no, we probably shouldn't pick that up yet because we're going to need to get the mead. Okay, so we're going to leave that there, but we did find a nice place to nest down and spend the night with Bloom. We told the swallows to just, should we tell the swallows to go out and see if they can find more birds to join our cause? I mean, we're going to assemble a bird army. That's what I said. So let's see. Let's put it on us as a signal check, because I believe I tab marked my book to make me sure. Signal allows you to call on others for assistance and warn them of danger. So let's go ahead and do a signal, see if we can find more birds to join. Should we wait until the morning? Maybe we should wait until the morning. So right now we're going to spend the night And when we spend the night, we can do a heal. I think there was no requirement for that, but let me double check combat, injury, and healing. Whenever you land, you can make a preen check. On a success, you can heal 1 injury. All right, so let's go ahead and do a preen check. And preen. Oh, we have 1 mark in preen. All right, so a 4 is our goal, and we get a 9. So we are able to heal 1. And then we drew the Joker, and we can use the Joker to heal 2 more points. So we're going to go ahead and use our Joker to heal 2, because we had 4 out of 6. And now we're down to 1 injury. So we spent the night and healed. And that leaves us 11 days left. Until the full moon, which is plenty of time. 11 days to get this done is fine. So we told Douglas we would meet him back at the tavern. And in the next morning after he investigated. So let's see, I mean, it's kind of, you know, but let's say let's do the oracle. Was Douglas successful in investigating this missing dwarf? 3. Yes, but he has no proof at the school yet. So Douglas went over to the stone yard and found Ashtar's family, and they're like, "Oh, please help us, Douglas. Ashtar was kidnapped, and we don't know where he is, and he's been missing for several days. Please help us." So it's like, okay. So he was able to find that Ashtar is indeed missing, but he has no proof that Tim the Necromancer has him. And I'm guessing Tim is we should figure out, is Tim a student, or let's ask the oracle. Is Tim a student? Yes. Okay, so Tim is an up-and-coming necromantic student at the school. Great. But do we know his name is Tim? I mean, we're gonna say sure. Sure, we know his name is Tim because he was doing a monologue saying, "I am Tim the Magnificent, and I am going to get so much more power once I sacrifice you, Ashtar." That's probably not what Tim sounds like. Tim probably sounds like, "I am going to sacrifice you at the full moon so that I can come into my full power." Because I feel like Tim is a nerd. Tim is a nerdy nerd. Oh, a weaselly nerdy nerd. Okay. So we need to take him back to the school. Maybe we don't know who Tim is, but we take him back to take Douglas back to the school and point out Tim, because I know what Tim looks like. So yeah, let's do that. So let's say we do that. So let's go ahead and we're just gonna do what skill can we do? Befriend? Navigate? Well, let's continue befriending Douglas and convince him to go to the school with us, okay? So our challenge is going to be a 5. We have all social interactions with authority, so we have advantage. We can draw 2 cards and take the higher, and we're doing befriend. We have a +1. Oh, good. We got a queen. Okay, so that makes it a 12, 13 out of, and our goal was 5, so we successfully did that. Douglas is going to come with us to the school to find Tim. Okay. So when we get to the school, we're going to try and locate. So we don't need to navigate there. We're going to hop on Douglas's shoulder, although we do have like 4 swallows and Bloom with us. We know where we're going by now. It's fine. We don't need to navigate, but once we get to the school, it's kind of a big building. There's like, you know, it's like a big, I imagine, oh, we're going to have to draw. We don't have to, but I imagine the school is going to be kind of like, you know, there's the tower, there's another tower, there's like a building here and another tower, and then maybe there's another big building here that maybe has a tower here. And Tim is up here. And this is like this, there's a room down here, that's where the chimney is. And then there's like other rooms along this corridor. So yeah, you know, and then maybe there's a small like fence around the whole campus, right? Okay, so we get there and we have to figure out, we need to search, we need to find Tim, because we can point him out and say, hey, this is the guy, Douglas. What he's, okay, yeah, let's see if we can search and find him. Okay, so our difficulty is going to be a 12. And search. We have 1 in search. And the Rogue's Toolkit gives us advantage, authority on claw attacks and using tools. So we don't have anything. So we just have 1 in search. So where's the gift shop? It's across the street outside of campus. Maybe there's maybe the big building is the library, and then all the other classrooms and things are in the other. All right, so we have 1 to search, and we need to get a 12, so that means we need to draw a card of 11 or better. Should we do it with authority, because we have Bloom and the Swallows with us, and maybe they can help? Okay, let's ask the Oracle. Should we get the other birds to help to give us authority? 6. No. And the swallows take off to join their friends. They're circling. Okay. Ew. But we left California and 12 other swallows here. So do they know where Tim is? Yes. Okay. Yes! We're metagaming. We're just using the Oracle to help us decide. All right, so we're going to do it with authority. So we're going to pick 2 cards and use the higher one. We got a Jack, so that's 11 plus 1 is 12, so we meet it. So we are able to find Tim. And you know, why didn't I just take him to the tower? Maybe because we don't know how to get into the tower, but we told him where it was. All right, so we pointed out, we found him. But we're not going to confront Tim, because that might spook him and make him do something rash, and we don't want him to do something rash. So let's see. Our quest says to defeat him. Okay. So the quest says to defeat the Necromancer, we have to do the ritual with the mead of poetry. But what if we rescue the dwarf merchant first and then go back with the mead of poetry to destroy this Necromancer? I think that sounds like a good idea. That sounds like a plan. So we tell this to Douglas. We're like, hey, we're gonna show you where it is. You're gonna have to figure out how to get there yourself. So yeah. How are we gonna determine, because this isn't our skill. We could just do the oracle. And ask if Douglas can find the tower hideout, even though we tell him where it is. Or we could draw cards. Might give a discount. We haven't really used anything so far from the book for like guidelines on objects and people and things. But I'm just kind of going with the story, and if we need to pull something, we will. So, let's see. How are we going to determine if Douglas... I mean, we know how to get there, so... I mean, we know where it is in the building. We don't know how to get there. So maybe we just pull cards or we roll a die. Or both. I don't know how to decide this because this isn't our skill. So let's just roll our oracle. Is Douglas able to find it? No, we're just going to say yes, he can. He can find his way to the room and free the dwarf. Because that's what I say happens. So Douglas, we point out Tim, he knows who he is, and then he finds the hideout and frees the dwarf. Yay! Okay, so that has happened. And then, does Douglas already have the mead of poetry? Yes. And he gives it to us. So Douglas has the mead of... He once he found out that this guy was missing, he kind of trusted us. He kind of figured out, yeah, he knows what's going on. So he has the mead of poetry on him already. And he gives it to us and says, take care of this guy. Defeat him. All right, so the dwarf has been freed. We had accompanied Douglas in there. And we asked Douglas to open the window for us. Is Douglas able to open the window? Or no. But what? Something positive. He's able to open a window in the room down the hall. And lets the birds in. And we're all going to perch up. We're going to perch up in the lair and attack him. I mean, we don't really have to attack him. We have to, like, do a ritual. 16 swallows, an eagle, and 2 ravens. I'll go into the attic of the tower to defeat a necromancer. Who's gonna win? Alright, our bird army is assembled and we are laying in wait. For Tim to return. Because he doesn't know that the dwarf is gone yet. We did this sneakily. All right. So here we are. We're perched up here. Me and Bloom in California and the bees. Bob, Bertie, Bill, Betty, Barb, all 16 of the bee swallows. We're perched around the room waiting for Tim, the necromancer, to return. How long do we have to wait? 6. 6 hours. He has a long day. We got there kind of early morning, early afternoon. So we're gonna. He has all his classes and things to go to. So we have to wait, 6 hours. And we're okay. We're birds. We'll manage. All right. And then finally, the time comes for Tim to return. And now. All right. So Tim returns. He walks in and sees the dwarf is gone. Where's my dwarf? What have you done with him? Where is he? And all of us birds, gah, gah, gah! We start circling around inside the room, and then let's give him a little bit of damage. Let's go ahead and attack him a couple times. So we have authority. It's called on claw attacks. So I'm going to swoop down and attack him, and our difficulty is a 3. So we draw 2 cards for authority, and we get a 10 plus 1. And we swipe down and we attack him. And we do 1 damage to Tim. I don't know how much hit points Tim has. We should probably look and see in the book if there are stats for a necromancer. Let's see. Okay. There are stats for a confused sorcerer. And Tim seems like he's a confused sorcerer. So he has 4 hit points. So he does +1 attack and evade. And he has 4 HP. And he does 2 damage. Okay. So we swoop down and we attack him. And we give him 1 injury out of 4. All right. And then let's give California a chance. California is going to swoop down. California gets a king difficulty. Oh no, California. You don't make it. Swoops down and grazes him. Tim ducks. All right. And we're going to circle again. And let's see. Let's give Bloom a chance. Bloom goes to attack. Also gets king. Bloom misses, I'm sure. Yeah. Okay. All right. So we circle the swallows. The swallows attack. 16. Out of 16, they do 1 damage. Because there's 16 swallows, and we rolled a 16, so that's how I'm figuring that math. Just go with it. All right, so then, let's see. Let me double check combat to make sure I'm not getting anything wrong, because I'm still pretty new to this, but I mean, we're having fun. Combat. Yeah, it's just, okay, that's fine. We only do 1 damage. I'm just double checking we only do 1 damage. All right. All right. And so now it's back to us again. Oh wait, we need to see if Tim's able to hit anybody. Let's see. Who does Tim hit? There's 16 swallows. That's 16. 17 is California. 18, 19. Okay. So anything 1 through 16 is a swallow. 17 is California, 18 is Bloom, 19 is me. Does Tim hit anybody? That is a 15. He hit one of the swallows. It was Birdie. Oh no, Birdie! Birdie's down. Okay, now it's our turn. My turn. I'm going to go and do a claw attack again. Difficulty is going to be 7. All right, it's on my side. All right, here I come. All right, here we go. With authority. We got a 10. There's a 10 plus nothing. But we successfully do 1 more damage to Tim. Tim's down to 3 of 4 health. I forgot what that stands for. Oh, he does 2 damage. Okay, so he took out one of the bees. Okay, that's fine. All right, we're still doing good. He didn't hit us. Okay, so next up is California. Does California hit Tim? A jack. And no, California misses. Tim ducks out of the way. It's kind of hard for a big eagle to hit a human. You know, he sees it coming and it's like, you know, I'm getting out of the way. All right. So then next is Bloom. Bloom's going to try and make an attack. Bloom has a joker. Bloom hits him. Don't worry, the swallow's just dazed. Bloom got a joker and succeeds on hitting him. Tim is down. He's unconscious. All right. Now the time. We've knocked him down. We've knocked him unconscious. So now we have to vanquish him. We have to destroy this necromantic power within him. I have my potion, the mead of poetry. And now we must all form together to perform a ritual around him. He's laying on the floor, bleeding and unconscious. And so we're going to do a ritual. And is it a dance or a sing? I think it's a dance. Yes, we need to do a dance ritual. So we all fly down and land on the floor around Tim. All of us birdies. Somebody goes over and helps. Who did I say? Barb? Betty? Birdie? The swallow who took a dive. Somebody goes over and helps them up. They're okay. They just got, you know, knocked silly for a minute. All right. So we have the poetry, the mead of poetry, and we start circling. We're flapping our arms. I know you can't see me, but here, I'm flapping. We're all flapping our wings and hopping around. We're doing this ritual. Our difficulty is going to be 4. Ritual dance. I have nothing in dance. Okay. We're doing this. We're doing this. And we have the ritual. We have all our friends. We're going to do it with authority because we can do this. We got a queen and an 8 that automatically succeeds. Tim takes, you know, I don't know. Tim breaks down and starts crying. I mean, he's unconscious, but he's crying. The evil, the necromantic power is freed from Tim. We have completed our second objective. Yay! And Tim wakes up. Oh, please, forgive me, beg for forgiveness. I promise I won't dabble in necromancy ever again. Please, just let me be. And we all just stand over him. Because he can't speak with animals. So he doesn't know what we're saying, but there's That's California, by the way. And then we go over and we peck on the window, and he opens the window. He dispels the arcane lock and opens the window, and we all fly out. We can't carry money molded. We can't raid him for money, unfortunately. But maybe we do find something on Tim. Let's draw a card and see what object we find that Tim offers us, or that we steal from him. The 10 of spades. All right, let's see. Here we go. 10 of spades, objects. 10 of spades. A vial of powdered unicorn horn. I think we'll take that. That heals 2 injuries with each use. There's 2 uses. So a vial of unicorn horn. All right, there we go. All right. Because the money bag slunk between the swallows or California. But we got our vial of unicorn horn, and we all fly out the window and spread the news throughout the city that Tim the Necromancer has been defeated. Be like a crow. Yes, Daryl. Avant. Welcome. Hooray! We've defeated Tim the Necromancer. So that completed our quest. We found the mead of poetry, and we performed our ritual to defeat the necromantic evil that has infected him. And as a fledgling, once we complete 2 objectives, which this was our second, we get to level up and become a juvenile, I think is what it is. Let me take a look. Bird, bird, bird. Oh, that's the bird. I don't know why I have that marked. Setting. Here we go. All right, so we become a juvenile. Huzzah! Yay! Well, welcome, Daryl. Thank you for joining. If you haven't already, don't forget to hit the like button. Get this out to other people. Okay, so what do we do to level up? We are now a juvenile. We go to a park nearby and celebrate with our bird army. All right. So, juvenile, heroes welcome, because we are now a hero. Your reputation as a brave adventurer precedes you. Haha. You may make all befriend and scare checks with authority. Well, we already had authority, but that's okay. I'll just double check it. Maybe we have extra authority now. All right, cool. Is that it? Oh no, there were other things in the bird. Creating. Okay, at the start of fledgling stage and each stage you advance, you can add 2 ticks to any 1 skill. All right, so what skill? I think we need to add some skill to our dance because we just successfully performed. Although befriend is good too. We successfully performed a dance ritual with all of our friends. So yeah, let's go ahead and add 2 ticks to dance because we don't have any. And then add 1 tick to a single skill from each of your main skill categories. Okay, so let's do 1 more in search because we only have 1 there. We'll go ahead and do 1 in befriend because we befriended a lot of people. We're getting really good at befriending people. We befriended Douglas and Bloom, who automatically was smitten with us. By the way, we have to say, Bloom, I'm sorry, Bloom. We're not ready for any kind of commitment or romance at this point in life, so, you know, we'll come back later maybe and see, you know, how things are going. Once we've matured a little bit and had a little more experience. And Bloom's like, I understand, that's okay, yeah, we'll see you around. And Bloom flies back to the singing, what was it called? The singing something? I forgot what you said. The singing hammer. All right, so we did 1 in search, 1 in befriend. Let's do 1 in use tool, because we've gotten really good at using tools with our rogues toolkit. And we got really good at clawing with that too, so we're going to add 1 to claw. And then you can also add 1 additional tick to... And each time you make... Okay, so we can also add 1 to peck. and fly. We're leveling up, buddies, and befriend. Oh, goodness. We're up to 3 in befriend and scare. All right. Cool, cool, cool. All right, we are now... Where did I write that down? Life stage, fledgling. We are now a juvenile. Yeah, we're a juvenile delinquent. So, and life stages, we have to complete 4 objectives now. All right, so we already have 1 objective lined up from on our trip to the city. So yeah, we didn't take any damage during that, and we're gonna go ahead and while we're celebrating, we're gonna preen and we're gonna do our rest, and we're gonna go ahead. We'll do a preen check. It's a 2. We succeeded. So we're gonna go ahead and heal up and rest and revel for a while. So we still have on the map our leaf token of flying, but now we have the vial of powdered unicorn, and our rogue's toolkit. So I think we're going to keep both of those items, and we're going to move on. Yay, objective complete. And maybe it's almost been an hour. Should I leave it at that? Should we wait and take off on our next adventure next week? Or should we continue on our quest today? So our next objective is to find the crystal shard of Gull, or find the shard of Gull located in a castle to the southeast. So if we come to our world map, so we are here in the city of Asmodor, and we need to head southwest. I guess I said southeast. Southwest, over by the castle to find the shard of Gull. That's gonna take us, let's see, we're in the city now, 1, 2, 3 turns to get there. Well, I mean, I'm a little bit tired just vocally, but I could go for a little while longer. Let's say we'll go for 20, 30 more minutes, and then we'll see how far we get. So, new objective. Find the shard of Gull. All right. So we spend the night, we healed up, we partied with our friends in the park. Yeah! Go Giselle, go Giselle, go, go, go Giselle. That's a bird rave. It's a raven rave. Ah! All right. And we say goodbye to all of our friends. And now we are going to take off. So we're going to take off out of the city and start heading southwest. And let's see what happens next. Get myself organized. All right, our first thing. So when we take off, we need to have at least 2 events in flight as we're going. So the first event in flight as we leave the city is the 4 of diamonds. You meet a magpie. who tells you where you can find an object. What are we finding? Okay, we find a magpie leaving the city. A magpie tells us where we can find something. What? The Ace of Clubs. Create your own mythical object or draw again. All right. Viewers. What is it the magpie tells us we can find? Anything you would find in a fantasy setting. Wait. Is this the card I drew for what the magpie found? Yeah. Okay, yeah. Gonna take a drink. A magic raven helmet. Like armor for us. All right. Sure. Magic. Ooh. Okay, I like that better. Golden thread that puts creatures to sleep. Yes, a helmet is a bit much. Don't worry about your mistypes. It's okay. Magic golden thread to put creatures to sleep. Okay. Doop, 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 doop. Okay, and it's going to be in the next hex we visit, which is going to be, we are flying from the city, and it's going to be here. You can land and pick it up, and if you land and pick it up, you must take 2 further turns on land before you can leave that hex. So we'll make a note of it. It's in this hex here, and that is going to be the golden thread. Now, whether we actually do anything with it, we'll see. Okay, so we're flying, and we fly down to this area. Let's get our next event in flight, because I believe we need 2, you need to loop it around the Ghana. Travel between many locations. Maps of many hexes. You can land in a hex and explore, but you can only travel between hexes flying. When you are in the area, you can use a move to adjacent. However, when you enter a new hex, you must not generate at least 1 flight event before you can move on. Okay. And then if you choose to land, you must generate at least 2 land events. All right. So we left the city and we flew to the next one over. Well, we're on our way out of the city, and the magpie says, "Hey, there's this golden thread over there." Okay, great, thanks. So we know where it is. We could do a search check to find it, but do we really want it right now? We can only carry 2 things. Right now we have our vial of powdered unicorn horn and our rogue's toolkit. I don't feel like dropping either of those things, so we'll make a note where it is and we'll continue flying. And then we'll go ahead and fly onto the next square, and that's going to be the 8 of diamonds. A sudden gust of wind knocks you sideways. Make a fly check. On a failure, you drop 1 object you're carrying. Oh no! And on a successful navigate, okay, and then make a successful navigate check or become lost, and take 1 more turn in your current hex. Oh no! All right, so we flew here. We made we're here. So we get knocked sideways. We need to make a fly check. All right, what is our fly? Fly is +2, so our goal is 6. California stayed in the city. Sorry. California did not join us. We are not continuing on with our birdie friends. It's just us. 6 plus... Alright, so 6 plus 2 is 8, so we successfully make our fly check, and we do not drop anything. I know, it's like the game knows I don't want to drop anything, but we didn't drop anything. Now we need to make a navigate check or become lost. Alright, we have a +2 and navigate. Our goal is a 11, a jack. So we need to get a 9 or higher. Ooh, we got a 6. Okay, so we're lost. So we're over this hex. We're flying here. So we're down here and we get lost. So I think that's a good reason to land. Let's go ahead and land because, you know, we're lost. We're like, ah. We got a little turned around, so we're lost. Gust of wind. Disoriented. And lost. So we're going to go ahead and land down there on the land. And while we're down there, you know, lunchtime or whatever. The Ace of Spades. Create your own. All right. So we land down there. And we run into someone. We run into a Queen of Clubs. A tavern owner. Who's also lost. Maybe he's on his way to the castle. So we land and run into a tavern owner. Okay. And the tavern owner is leaving the castle. Well, why is he leaving? Something has driven him to leave. He's like, I can't take it anymore. I can't stay there anymore. I have to go. I have to get away from here. I have to get away from this castle. What is driving him away? It could be an event. Oh, he's running away from a wedding, or he's going to a wedding. I'm not sure. I will. It's okay. He's running away from the castle. Why? Is he running away from a bad family? Running away from a wedding? Running away from a wedding? Okay. His wedding or somebody else's? Oh, maybe he's arranged wedding. An arranged marriage. Oh no, he's running away from arranged marriage. An arranged marriage to he's running away from an arranged marriage to the ugly princess. The ugly cursed princess. Because he is in love with somebody else. Okay, so this poor sad tavern owner, does he have a name? Hey, tavern owner, what's your name? Why do all the people in this world, you know, his name is Magnus. Oh, I was gonna say, yes. The princess is ugly and cursed. She's ugly by day and cursed that at night she turns into a hag. Why not? I better make a note of that. Okay. Yeah. She wasn't a looker to begin with, and then, you know, she has this family curse. It's terrible. So Magnus, this tavern keeper's like, no, I can't do it. Because he talks like that. They want me to marry that ugly girl, and I can't do it. I'm in love. I'm in love with somebody else. Who? Who? I don't know. Okay, okay. Sorry, you know, you were okay. Um, so what can we do? Is there a quest in here for us, or we just like, oh, sorry, Magnus, you know, tough luck, or have they? Who? Wait, there's so many questions. Who is he in love with? Or is he just running because he doesn't want to marry the ugly princess? And if he is in love with somebody, where is this person? Is this person live this? Okay, here we go. He's in love with a girl who lives in the nearby village of Faunel. And her name is going to be your turn. You decide what his name is. A girl from the nearby village. Okay. But the king is not happy that he's running away because he's trying to marry off his ugly daughter, the princess. And so Magnus is being chased by guards. Let's do a D6 and Griselda, thank you. And let's see how many guards are chasing him. 6! Okay. Okay, he's being chased by 6 guards. We're gonna make this a quest. Or an objective. You know, same difference. So we need to distract the guards. Objective. Distract the guards. So that Magnus can get away. Alright. Yeah, that's a lot of guards. Okay. Alright, so I think the first thing we need to do is like, okay, let's call out in the area. Let's send out a signal. Are there any birds in the area that can help us? So we're gonna send out a signal. Our difficulty is a 9. Oof, okay. Well, we have 1 in signal, so let's see what we get. A 9. Yes, we successfully call. So how many nearby birds are we going to find? We're going to roll our d20 and 6. All right. So we successfully round up 6 rooks that are in the neighborhood. And we are going to try to take on these 6 guards. I just made myself an automatic, yeah, encounter, combat. That's the words I'm looking for. All right, let me see here. Characters. Do we have any? We have town guards. Just checking. Okay, town guards. We'll go with those stats. Oh, there's gonna be 6 of them. Okay, so guards. Times 6. And they have +1 to their attack and evade. They have 4 health. Everybody has less health than we are. We're really, really good. And then they have Town Guard. They do 1 damage. Okay. And there's 6 rooks. We're almost out of cards, but that's okay. Alright. So the 6 of us rooks. Well, the 6 rooks and myself, because I am a raven. We're going to lay in wait in the trees. We tell Magnus to keep going, and we're going to distract these guards. So the guards come along, and I'm going to try and scare the first one, because I realized I have, can scare with an authority, and if I succeed on the scare, then I have authority on my attack. So I'm going to try and scare them. Oh, no! That's a king! Is it? Okay, the only way I can do that is if I get... Well, I could get a jack. So I do it with authority, and I got a king. All right, I successfully scared them, so I get the first attack. I'm going to hit an ace is my goal. That's fine. That's going to automatically success. And we're going to do a peck attack. That's 9 plus 2. That's 11. So we do 1 damage to guard number 1. So he's down to 3 health. All right. And then next, the rook is going to attack. Rook is a 5. All the rooks together. They're all going to attack. Each one takes a different guard. So their goal is 5. Yes. They're all flying in straight lines. And they get 7, so they each attack. So there's 6 rooks, which was good. I don't know what. How did I come up with 6 rooks? I forget. Oh, I rolled the d20. That's right. And there are 6 guards. Awesome. Perfect. All right, they each do 1 damage to a guard, so that guard is down to 2. The one I attacked, that one's down to 3. 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 And that one's down to... Okay, yay, we're doing good now. Okay, so now the guards get to attack. How do I want to do that? I also need to shuffle the cards because I only got 1 left. So let's shuffle the cards while I think about how should I give 6 guards attacks on 7 birds. Well, I could do to see if one hits me individually. Oh, that was a terrible shuffle. And then roll the d6. Because there's 6 rooks. So we'll see how many of them get hit. And we'll say the rooks have 4 health. So this is the guards, and then the rooks we have 4, 4, 4, 4, 4, 4. All right, 6 rooks, 6 guards, and 1 raven. All right. So how many of the rooks get hit? 1. Only 1 rook gets hit. Rook number 1 goes down to 3. All right, and the guards attack. A guard attacks me, and his attack is an 8. And I am going to evade, and I can evade with authority. So I got a queen. So I succeeded in evading, no damage to me. Yes. All right, next, my turn to attack the guards. I'm going to go for the same one. My goal is an 8, and I'm going to, yep, and then try a peck again. What is it? Does it dive bomb? No. We're just going to do a peck. And, oh, I could do a claw with authority. Let's do a claw with authority, because last time I think I did a peck. Oh, we got 2 aces. And I said a claw, that's a 2. That's not going to hit. I missed. All right. Okay. And then the rooks. And how many rooks are going to hit? 6. Haha. So all 6 of the rooks attack a guard. So that guard's down to 1, 2, 2, 2, 2, 2. Whew. Okay. We're making quick work of these guards. but we're distracting them. And Magnus, in the meantime, is making his getaway. Alright, so now the guards are going to attack. How many rooks get hit? 6! Why do I keep rolling 6? And in case you want to know, this is in Emerald City Comic-Con. Die. Alright, all 6 rooks get hit. So that one's getting down to 2, 3, 3, 3, 3, 3. Okay. Alright, back up to the top of him and... Oh, no. They gotta hit me. Alright. Their attack goal is an 8, and I have a +1 to evade with authority. I got a 9. +1 is a 10, so I evade their attack. I feel like I might be doing that wrong, but alright. Alright, it's my turn. Now back up to the top of initiative. My turn, and I'm going to attack the first guard again. My goal is a queen, and I'm going to... Yes, let's keep doing the claw attack with authority. That's only a 6. That does not hit. Okay. Alright, that's okay. We've got 6 rooks on our side. How many guards get hit by the rooks? 3. Alright. I rolled something besides a 6. That guy's out. Alright, that guy's down to 1. And that guy's down to 1. Okay, and then how many rooks get hit? Kind of rolled it on the book, and it was a 1, and then it flipped over to a 4. We're going to go with it. Okay, so that guy's down to 1, 2, 2, 2. Okay. Alright, and then they're going to try and attack me. They get a queen. Alright, I have... I can evade with authority, and I have a +1, so I need a jack or better. I got a joker. I'm going to go ahead and play that joker to succeed, because otherwise it's a 7. Or I could just draw another card. Let's draw another card. Okay, 7, 8 does not, so I take 1 damage. I keep forgetting the guards have a +1, but that's okay. It's not a one-on-one combat, so it doesn't really matter as much. I'm just rolling to see how many get hit. Alright, then, next up, I attacked. Next up is the rooks are attacking the guards. How many? We only have 5 guards left, so 4 of them. Awesome. We just wiped out another one and another one. That's 2 guards down. 1, 2, 3, 4. All right. They're looking pretty good. Bad. All right. Next, how many rooks get hit by the guards? 6. All 6. Okay, 1 rook is down. 1, 1, 1, 2, 2. It's a pretty even fight so far. Okay. And then the guards are going to attack me. They have a 5. And I'm going to evade with authority. Oh, seriously? Okay. +1. Best I have a 3 and a 2, so that's a 4. Their goal was a 5, so I take another damage. I get hit again. Alright. It's okay. 2. I have the most health of anybody here. I have 6 health. These guys all have 4. It's fine. Alright. So that's the end of that round. Next round is my turn to attack them. And my attack goal is a 9. I'm going to do a peck. Because I've been doing the claw and I've been missing. So let's go back to peck. It gives me a +2, so I need a 7 or better. And I got a 9. Awesome. So I took out 1 of the guards. That's down to 2 guards left. And they're looking pretty rough. Alright, now. How many guards do the rooks take out? 3. 1. There's 1 guard left. Although, 3 rooks hit, there's only 2 guards. 1 guard gets hit twice. All the guards are down. And we have 5 of the 6 rooks remaining. And we completed our objective. Score 1 for the home team. Alright. And I think that's where we're going to call it. I still have 1 joker. So I'm going to make a note. I have a little joker tracker up on my character page. So we have 1 joker in play. We have 2 wounds, and we completed our first objective, was to help Magnus get away from these guards. So that's going to be it for today. I hope you enjoyed it. I will be back again next week, barring any other incidences and such. And I will write this all out and we'll put it all away, and I'll make sure I have dice. Yeah, that's it. Yay! Do the enemies ever break and flee? I guess technically they could. Also, we could flee, but I'm using my skills to gather friends, so it's not necessary. If it had been me one-on-one with the birds, then yeah, I probably would have fled. But I wanted to complete that. So that is where we are. Thank you. If you haven't hit the like button, please do so. If you haven't subscribed, do that as well. And if you're watching this in the VOD, please leave me any comments, suggestions for places, people, names. If I get several suggestions for names in the comments, I will make a list and we'll randomly draw from the list. But yeah, that's it for now. So until next time, I'll see you later.